have fun. You know, there's obviously theory to this and rules, I should say, to follow, but I don't know. When has somebody ever made something good just following the rules?
Hey everyone, it's David. Before the video starts, I just want to say I am hosting a free live stream event. During this free event, I'll be creating a complete drum mix with you guys live. I'm going to be going over all my tips and tricks, and it'll be the perfect place for you guys to ask any questions you might have. You guys can sign up for the free live stream event with the link at the top of the description. Once you guys sign up, I'll be sending you a free multi-page EQ guide, as well as giving you guys the complete drum mix template that we create on stream. At the end of the stream, my new course, Mastering Recording Drums from Home, will go live for pre-sale. Anybody who is in the stream will be able to grab my course for 60% off. I'll be breaking down the full course at the end of the stream, so definitely come check it out. You can click the link at the top of the description to claim your spot for the live stream, as well as claiming all your free items and staying updated with the new course. I'll see you guys there. Now on to the video.
Alrighty, room mics. When you're in a small space like I am, in a basement, or maybe you're in a bedroom or a garage or whatever it may be, you gotta try and make your space as big as possible. And I've found that a good way to do that, at least for me, is by placing my microphones away from the kit. So I have them high up as they can be, which for me is about 6 feet. It's as much space as I really got. And they're pointed straight up in the air. I tried one to the left, one to the right. I tried one up, one down. I tried two back, two forward, all the combinations you could think of. And for me, both up in the air seem to work great, so that's kind of just what I stuck with. But the main focus with that is do not point them directly at your drum kit, especially in a small space, because the drums are going to sound super in your face, and they're room mics. You want the drums to sound huge, and you kind of want them to have that air and that ambience, that big room sound. So having the microphones away from the kit, picking up as much room as you can in your little space, is always best. I'm going to show you what my rooms sound like. And yeah, again, two SM57s, small room. This is what I kind of crafted them into. That's them there. That's after just a little bit of processing. Nothing too crazy. I got 4 plugins here. One of them is a rack. I got a couple things going in that rack. But this is what they sounded like completely raw. Maybe they're just going through my my mix bus chain here, but these are basically raw. And listen to what they sound like raw. They sound good, like they're doing their job, and I tried to put them in the room where they would sound best, but they're very, very focused. Because my room is super small and super dampened, the drums only have so much energy. I don't got that nice, big rock live room. So I have to make it. I have to artificially kind of create that live room, and I'm going to basically break down exactly how I get my big room sound from my little ass room. That's my goal with this video, and it's one of my favorite ways to make the drum kit sound absolutely amazing. So first thing that we're gonna do is turn on my first plugin here, which is Slade's Virtual Mix Rack. There's a lot of different ways to do this. You can do this with the stock plugins as well. Logic has amazing plugins that I use a lot of the time too. I just happen to use Slate for this specific mix. So the first thing I have in my chain here is the VCC channel, which allows me to kind of emulate a studio console. So I got both SM57s running through the VCC to give me a little bit more real analog kind of feel, a little bit more saturation and warmth to the tones. Again, nothing too crazy. It's not doing that much work. I just throw it in there. Maybe it's, I don't know, just a habit, something like that, but it works well and I absolutely love it. Next thing I got on is a transient shaper, which I'll show you exactly what that's doing. I'm using it more so to shape the transient to make the drum set hits not pop out so much, which normally for drums you want every hit to kind of be pumping and really punching in your face, as well for rooms. But for my specific scenario, and especially at home recordings, because the drums are so in your face, I wanted to push them way back, and the transient shaper helped me do that. So I'll show you what that's doing. So this is off. That EQ made a huge difference. EQ's off as well. Right, raw. VCC on. Transient shaper. Right. You can hear how much farther back the kit is. Take a listen to how, like, the distance of the kit. Take a listen to how much the kit feels like it moved backwards and almost expanded the room with that move there. On. Kind of in your face. More distant. Nothing too crazy. It's a subtle change, but I just feel like it adds a little bit more depth to the room. And the before sounds great too. Again, it's picking up my drum kit very good, but it's just not what I want for room mics, especially when I'm fading them in with the rest of the mix. It's just gonna clash if the room mics are so focused. Then I got on a little EQ at the end of the chain, which is honestly doing a lot. I'll show you that. This is on. Off. In your face. Big volume difference there. That's okay because I have a couple other plugins afterwards that are boosting things up a little bit. But my main goal with that was to get rid of some cymbals as well as make the kit again become a little bit more distance. So that way when I throw it into my compressor and my reverb later on, I'm not just getting this huge kind of, when the drum kit is super in your face and you go adding reverb and compression and stuff like that, it just really starts fighting with the other microphones that you might have set up. So the more distant I can make the drum set feel and kind of have the ambience of the kit being showcased rather than the actual kit, that is my main goal with these moves here. Not doing anything too crazy. Got a little shelf, taking away, how much is this? 5 dB, just to get rid of some cymbals. I got a cut here at 3.2, nothing crazy, 6 dB. And then I also got a little cut at 360 Hertz. That one there, depending on your room, you might have some muddy buildup, 350, maybe 400, maybe around 250. Really depends on your room. For me, it happened to be 350, but definitely watch out for room mics because there tends to be a lot of muddy buildup just based off the way your room's built. Things tend to build and get very boxy or very muddy. So find where that is, cut it out, and it really helps clean up that tone. So that's basically it for this rack. That's all I'm doing. Nothing too fancy for right now. So next on the chain, what I got here is a 1176. Here I'm using the Waves plugin. Any compressor will work. My goal with this here is trying to make the room sound again, give it as much character and energy as possible. I want it to be big, lively, and a compressor is perfect for that. Kind of helps chomp down on things that you might want to get chomped down on, and it exaggerates a lot of the good stuff that you want from your room. So I'll show you what that sounds like before and after. This is off. That's on. Nothing too crazy. Again, a little bit of a volume drop only because when I run it through the reverb, I don't want things to be so loud and then things start clipping because I am doing pretty heavy reverb after the compressor. So I didn't mind the audio going down a little bit, the gain going down. So if you want, you can press your output up a little bit more. It worked for this specific mix. I found that setting the release very fast brought up a lot of the energy of the room and the drum kit. Things were like, you can hear the difference from just kind of it being a very dry drum sound to just full of energy really, and just so much more. You can hear so much more. I'll show you so you can hear what I'm talking about. This is fast. See how much more controlled that is? versus this. There's so much more things happening when the release is fast. You can hear how much it's really exaggerating the sound after the hits, and if it adds so much more character to the mics. And again, there's no rules. You could put it to whatever you feel, whatever works for your specific mix or room scenario, whatever it may be. This has been working for me, and I love putting it at a fast release, and it's basically it for the compressor. The attack is also fast. I have it at a fast setting because when I do it too low, I find the room mics get a little bit too punchy, which sounds almost, normally as a drummer, you want your drums to be really, really punchy. But for the room mics, I have so many other microphones in the whole entire mix that when the room mics become too prominent and too punchy, they just start clashing with each other. So I set the attack time very fast, kind of smoothens things out. Sounds great. So it's basically it for the compressor. So for the next plugin, reverb, got a lustrous plate on here. Beautiful, beautiful reverb. This changes the sound dramatically. So take a listen to this. Right, it's night and day what it's doing. This is off. Still good. On. See how much energy that reverb brings? My goal with this reverb was to make as big of a room sound as I possibly could. Again, that was the whole point of my room mics, and the whole reason why I'm making this video is because you can really enhance your drum sound by creating a fake room like this to mimic a real live studio room. So for the reverb, nothing much. I actually think I set up a preset, which don't be afraid to use presets. It's not because you don't know what you're doing or anything like that. Sometimes presets are damn good, and you can play around with the settings from there. So I set up a soft room, which put on a plate here, and I fiddled with some settings. The reverb time I brought down because I found that the longer I had the reverb, the more kind of overlap there was, and it just started muddying up, and I didn't want that. I wanted it to be not too much of a reverb, but more of a room. So I wanted that authentic room sound, not that loud kind of stadium reverb sound. Left the frequency thing here just as is. Left all these other settings here. Pre-delay, just pushed it back a bit. I think it was set to 4. I put it to 8 because it worked with the BPM that I was playing at. Big thing here, I pointed at it, you can't see the dry and wet knob. I have it set to, what is this, -2.4, whatever that means, closer to the wet side rather than the dry side, and I'll show you why. This is where I had it set. The dry side, very nice, almost good for, again, when you're side chaining reverbs and you're doing different things like that and sending reverbs to other buses and things. It's nice to have it on the dry setting so that way the reverb is kind of in the background, but that's not my goal with the room mics. My goal was to make the reverb the sound of my room mics. So I set it to the wet side because it didn't make the drum sound so focused and so in your face. Like, listen to how big the room sounds when I move this knob. Small room. Giant room. A little bit too big of a room. So you tail it back. Find a good mix in between. That's it. This plugin alone, a reverb, again, lustrous plates I'm using. Use whatever reverb you have, does not matter. Try and make the reverb sound as much like a room as you can. And my biggest tips for that is taking the reverb time and making it a lot shorter so that way you don't have things overlapping too much. You don't want it too short to where it starts sounding like it's gated or something, but you want it to be long enough to where it's creating ambience, but not too long to where things start overlapping and muddying the shit out of the tone. And then dry and wet knob, play with that to your taste. This was my specific settings. Try not to go too dry, because then you kind of defeat the whole purpose of the fake room sound and you start getting too much original signal and it just focuses the drums a little bit too much. And don't go crazy with it. You'll muddy the hell out of your room mic. So take it back ever so slightly. Just a little bit does the job. Right? Crazy. It's crazy. It sounds so much bigger. It's cool what you can do to some microphones, especially in a small space like this, with just some plugins. That's why I love doing this stuff, because there's so many possibilities. And this is my way. This is not the only way. This is not the only way you should do it either. Play around with it. Follow this as a guide. Try it out. Try exactly what I'm doing and see what it does for yourself. But play around with it. This point of this stuff is to have fun. You know, there's obviously theory to this and rules, I should say, to follow. But I don't know. When has somebody ever made something good just following the rules? Like, it does the job, but step out of the boundary, step out of the rules, and fuck around with some stuff and see where it takes you. that's my biggest tip here, I think, is screw around with things and just take people's advice as a guide and fuck around with things. Lastly, EQ. Another one. Gotta love EQ. Not doing anything crazy here at all. I just found that this is solely cutting, just corrective stuff. Found a little wonky tone in my room. I'll show you that now. Added a very weird hum. Very whooshy, like a ooh. I don't know how to explain it, but very whooshy sound to my snare drum. So I cut that back ever so slightly, kind of cleaned it up for me. Nothing too crazy. This is obviously not something that you have to do. This was solely for my specific room mic setup, where I found that my room was producing this tone here at 304, 305, whatever it was. Took it down a little bit, cleaned it up ever so slightly, and that's it, man. That is basically it. The rooms sound great. I'll show you it in the whole mix. I'll take it down to 0 and then I'll fade it in. This is nothing. Yeah. Right? Off. So the low end becomes so much thicker. The room mic's off is a great sound too. Like, I know guys that will pop that off for a verse or for a tight bridge, or turn it on for a big bridge, whatever it may be. Choruses, turn it on, exaggerate it, play with the faders, whatever you want to do. But it just enhances it so much. The snare's thicker, the tom, like the ring of the toms ever so slightly just adds more character. The low end is thicker. It's just, I love it. It sounds so good. And again, I'll say it 1,000 times. Small basement. This is just a small basement. You can do this too in your bedroom as well. It is very easy to do. You saw it's only a couple plugins. It just takes a little bit of practice and a little bit of good accidents. Sometimes you hit the wrong button and it sounds a lot better. And just use it. Who cares? As long as it sounds good to you and it's you're happy with it. What more could you ask for, man? It's basically it. So again, nothing too crazy. That's how I use my room mics to enhance my mix. And yeah, it's as simple as that, I guess. If you guys find these videos helpful, I'm trying to keep these videos as raw as possible, kind of showing you the process. I'm not trying to do too many edits or fancy shit. I just want it to be raw and give you how I'm thinking, the process of how I'm thinking when I'm doing these moves and how I'm achieving my drum sound. If you guys are interested in more videos like this, I would say subscribe, but I got something even better. If you click the link at the top of my description, you can join the waitlist for my course that's coming out in October. I'm going to be going through so much stuff for recording drums from home, in your basement, in your bedroom, in your garage, whatever it may be. The goal with the course is I'm using relatively budget gear and getting pro studio sounds. That is the whole concept of the course. I want you guys to not be intimidated by mixing your own drums or tuning your own drum kit. I'm going to be going through a bunch of concepts, drum tuning, every single drum, cymbals, brands, everything, room acoustics, how to record drums with 1 microphone, 2 microphones, 4 microphones, 8. I'm going through everything. I'm going to show you how to process it just like I did here for however many mic combinations you can think of. I'm going to be doing it all in my course. If you guys want to keep updated, you can click the link at the top of the description and join the waitlist. You're also going to get a bunch of free stuff. And I'm doing a live event where I'm going to break down a full drum mix for you guys and also give you the template when I'm finished with it. And the kicker, I keep saying and because there's a lot of stuff going on here, you're going to get 60% off during that live stream to my course. So if you are going to pick it up at some point, even before pre-sale, you're going to get it for 60% off during the live stream and you're going to save big time. So that's all I got for you guys today. Click the link down below if you want to join the wait list, and you'll be seeing more videos like this very, very soon. Take care, guys.